July the 4th, time to purge. What's up everybody, it's Adam for Rando Reviews, and today I'm going to do a rapid Rando review of the First Purge. Now it's technically the fourth Purge, but the movie's the First Purge. It's the fourth in the series, but it's the prequel that talks about how the Purge began. And it came out today on July the 4th, 2018, and so I just got back from the movie, so that's what I'm going to review. Now I've been a big fan of the Purge since the first one came out. Well, not the first Purge, but the first movie came out years ago with Ethan Hawke and Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones. I love the idea, the concept of the movie, and you know, for the most part, all three of them thus far have delivered in their own ways. I would say the second one was my favorite. The first one, or the original movie, I hate to say that because it gets confusing. The original movie is probably my second favorite. Then you go with the last one, which was Election Year, and then I would say the new one would probably be my third favorite. Now, so what's good about the new one is the action sequences are great. Probably the best in the series thus far. The visuals that you see with the colors and the fast-paced action scenes when they're going through the apartments and fighting each other, it's really well done. Some handheld shots that are not just the crazy shaky cam, but where you can actually see what's going on in the movie. Those are done really well. And that's probably where I end with what's good about this movie. I mean, if you like the Purge movies, you're going to like the First Purge for the most part. But for me, I kind of wanted a little more. Now this being the fourth movie, I kind of want to know more about not just like why they got to this point, but like what kind of made it slowly devolve into this chaos. When they open up the First Purge, they just kind of say, like, basically you see what you see on the news right now. You see you know, violence against minorities, you see poverty, things like that, you know, where two parties have segregated so much, it's very tribal, and then a third party, the first founding fathers, come in and take over, and they say, hey, this is what we should do, and it's by a behavioral scientist done by Marissa Tomei that kind of brings up this plan, and then we're off to the races for the First Purge. That's more of an experiment that goes down on Staten Island. So it's basically all the Purge movies just basically saying, okay, now we're going to put it into one little spot, and that's what makes this movie different. So it's not really different at all. But you have actors or actresses like Marissa Tomei. You know, I'm pretty sure she's won an Oscar before. You know, great actress, and they just kind of throw her away in this movie. She doesn't really have much of a role. She's just kind of there. You expect some bad acting here and there with these movies, and you get that in this. But it just kind of seems like, okay, we've seen this movie before, and that's the same thing that happened with like movies like Saw that came out every year. To a point, you just go, okay, I need to see a little more development, or I'm going to stop going to see this. And to me, that's where I'm getting at with the Purge. They're still good for what they are, but they're not really progressing the story. And this one, it's the same thing. It's like, here's a little bit of setup on, here's how the Purge started, and then it's people trying to, you know, stay alive. That's all it really is. And with it being in the horror genre, I never really felt this one had much of the horror genre tropes in it. It had a few little jump scares, I guess, but I never felt the tension like I felt in some of the other movies. So, you know, it is what it is. It's okay. It's not going to change the game. I wish that they would have maybe taken a little step further or gone further back into how they got into the Purge, not just, hey, the Purge is starting in 2 days and the government's behind everything. I mean, it was the ways that it gets there, it's so obvious. I just wish they would have tried a little harder. But visually, it's really well done. The cinematography, the action scenes are really well done. Some of the characters are, you know, your typical characters, but, you know, for the most part, they're okay for playing the roles they're playing. Overall, out of a 10, I give it maybe a 6.5. Is it worth seeing? If you like the Purges, I think you'll like this one. But there comes to the point when you retread the same thing over and over again, you start to want to see a little bit more, and that's where I'm at with the First Purge. So hope you enjoyed this Rando review. We'll see you next time right here. Hit that subscribe, like button, comment, all those things. We'll see you next time. Later.